Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game. This game taking place here on Echo Isle between War3Orcer0 versus Moon. Alright, we're looking at, well, things speeding up a little bit too quickly for me. Just going to get it to the 2-minute mark. It is going to be a Blade Master, most likely, versus a Keeper of the Grove. At the 2-minute mark, we'll see what will be popping on out here. It is going to be a Demon Hunter. So Moon going back to classic style play, going Demon Hunter first here on Echo Isle. Good thing that the WarCraft arc-like ramble isn't streamed. I may actually try streaming it, Wild Striker. I actually got to talk with some of the people on the server side and was able to take a look at it, and it looks interesting. It looks fun. It doesn't look very competitive, but at the same time, I don't necessarily need a highly super competitive game. And at the same time, there's supposed to be a very big PvE aspect of the game, like an ongoing campaign that you're trying to overcome. I asked them about their game philosophy, talking about WarCraft arc-like rumble just a little bit. It is a little bit grindy, but you know, you're just trying to constantly unlock new things, right? Level things up, and then try and approach different challenges. Also, they told me that, well, actually, I don't know if I can actually say this. You know what? I don't know. I don't know what I can and cannot say, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Hopefully, I will be able to get into the Friends and Family beta and showcase some stuff for you. It does look fun. I mean, it's collecting miniatures. It's like gachas, gacha capsules. And then you actually get to play with your gacha capsules. So overall, it is going to be pretty fun here, as we see an Ancient of War trying to tank some damage off over here, but it looks as though the Blade Master is actually going to try and capitalize here, and a Moon being extremely aggressive here, trying to, well, maximize things and playing a bit aggressively here, may actually get punished, losing this Ancient of War, or perhaps even more. Demon Hunter, well, trying to take down that Blade Master. There is a mana burn right there, and all that Blade Master is doing is trying to take down that Ancient of War. Ancient of War down to 120 hit points. Damage has racked back up rather high, as the Blade Master and Demon Hunter are still exchanging blows. Meanwhile, the creeps are exchanging blows as well, as the Ancient of War down to 288 hit points after regenerating some hit points by eating those trees. Maybe save things once you've streamed it, provided that you're allowed to. Yeah, I'm hoping that I am allowed to. I was able to see the game in action. So they already have servers up, but then again, that was one of the developers working on it, and it's no surprise that I can come across and see someone playing a game on their mobile phone, right? I mean, I live in Irvine. It's like sometimes you just see things. Anyways, coming back around, Demon Hunter trying to back away. Demon Hunter with 3 claws of attack plus 15, and now going to try and engage against that Blade Master. The Demon Hunter with the plus 15 big damage. Meanwhile, the Blade Master with double circlets of nobility and gloves of haste. We're still looking at this strange fight in the center portion of the map. It will get taken down, as the Demon Hunter of Moon already has a companion to fight alongside with him. The Beast Master is now out on the battlefield earlier than I would have expected, and is now going to join in on the fight. Orc base trying to train up a Shadow Hunter. Both sides opting to go for a faster tech to tier 2 for those faster heroes, as we are now going into Druids of the Talon. Yes, it may actually be a daring old strat. Druids of the Talon, Beastmaster, Demon Hunter with Druids of the Talon for Cyclone and Fairy Fire. That damage does rack up quite a bit, and perhaps if he tries to even go into tier 3, he could even go for Goblin Alchemist. Grunts are going to try and end up taking some damage. There's one grunt down, there is another grunt down, and wow, that Beastmaster already quickly getting close to level 2. Druids of the Talon with a tech to Tree of Eternity. And what is interesting about this style of play is that most players, well, I remember talking to, oh my gosh, I remember talking to Hitman a couple years ago back at DreamHack, and well, Druids of the Talon and Fairy Fire had actually fallen out of favor, but that was actually a strategy that he was not very familiar with as an Orc player to try and counter. We're looking at a Quill Beast now getting in front of that Blade Master. Blade Master, however, ducking, diving, dodging, and ducking and diving and dodging, trying to get away. There's a quick Hex onto the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter could have a little bit of a bad day. Demon Hunter gets taken down. Blade Master escapes away at 28 hit points. Beautiful micro, keeping that Shadow Hunter just hidden outside of view, allowing that Blade Master to get away. What a clutch play that was, as the Demon Hunter falls at level 2. Druids of the Talon are going to be trained up here. We could perhaps see a Goblin Alchemist as a third and final hero, using Acid Bomb effectively to remove even more armor, allowing more range damage from those Quill Beasts and those Druids of the Talon to eat away at those other units. Is Moon doing an old... You can't transfer items while being sheep. You can't transfer items. You can't use items. All you can do is cower and, well, think about the decisions and the choices you made that got you to that position. All right, Knowles getting finished off over here. Beastmaster sitting at level 2, relatively low on mana. We are also looking at the dual Ancients of Wind cranking out those Druids of the Talon, as the Beastmaster needs to summon in some more Quill Beasts and absorb a bit more damage. All right, that one Quill Beast going to quickly be taken down. Meanwhile, damage is racking back up against all of these other units. No Fairy Fire, though, as we see a Hawk as the second unit instead of the Bear. Interesting that you would actually go for the Hawk over the Bear, but then with the Blade Master out there on the battlefield, it does make a bit of sense. All right, coming back around, we're going to see some Tide Runners getting taken down. There's one more Murloc Nightcrawler who was Shadow Melded. That will end up getting finished off here as the Demon Hunter picks up an Orb of Venom, now with plus 20 damage. 44 damage. That's actually rather high, as the Demon Hunter now gets another set of claws up to plus 25 damage. All right, so that Demon Hunter's auto attack at level 2 is doing significantly more damage than would be expected, especially if you add in a Fairy Fire negative armor right there. All right, Gloves of Haste now on that Demon Hunter, so that Demon Hunter now even attacking much more quickly. Hello, Cart. As the Beastmaster now sitting at level 3. Level 2 Quill Beast, we're seeing the Hawk was just flying around here. Meanwhile, the Blade Master and Shadow Hunter working together, going for a traditional style of build. There's some Raiders. We do not see a tech to tier 3, so it is Raiders and Headhunters right now. No strategy or transition into Berserkers as of yet. Coming back around, the Beastmaster and the Demon Hunter trying to chase their way across Scroll of Speed. I do believe it was already used. Blade Master with multiple circlets of nobility attempting to retreat back here as the Orc player is setting up this expansion. He wants to get that economic advantage, but knows that, well, he cannot hold on to it. Quickly cancels that there. Meanwhile, the Ancient of Wind has stopped cranking out any units, as the Demon Hunter and Beastmaster still looking to just try and gain experience any way they can. All right, going after the Huntsman here. Healing Wave bouncing around. Demon Hunter going to try and engage here. Going to go ahead and continue to fight back. A little bit of damage, as you can see that the Cyclone is picking up those Spirit Walkers, picking up that lone Spirit Walker. No access to Dispel, as we see a Staff of Preservation saving that Demon Hunter there. Continuing to fight that battle, the Spirit Walker could just easily get focused down by the Druids of the Talon with their magic attack, quickly removing that unit from that engagement, as a Scroll of Town Portal now being used by Moon. Moon has to be very careful. He wants to stay close enough with all of those Druids of the Talon. 2 of the Druids of the Talon were not close enough. Some of the Druid Talons even went into the air to try and get closer to that Beastmaster, and were able to be whisked away.
Players' forces are under attack.
Coming back around, now Blade Master clearing up the remainders of a relatively easy creep camp here. It is a Goblin Tinker as the third and final hero, so it will be 2 additional Tavern heroes. Goblin Tinker able to deal damage to buildings rather effectively here, as he's going to be holding on to some mana, perhaps waiting for an engagement against the Orc player. Demon Hunter sitting at, well, getting very close to level 3. Level 2 mana burn going to be incredibly important. Druid of the Talon with that lightning shield racking up damage against his companions there, as the Demon Hunter will get to level 3 here in just a moment. There's level 3 Demon Hunter. Level 2 mana burn should be trained up here. Meanwhile, in the center portion of the map, a Wisp gets taken down, revealing the Orc location. Oh, come on. coming back through. Druids of the Talon. Hawk keeping track, making sure that the Blade Master is not nearby. Beastmaster wants to get to level 4 to open things up and allow that Hawk to actually be able to deal some magic damage as well. Being able to target those Spirit Walkers while in ethereal form is incredibly important, as a Druid of the Talon, well, it was easily taken down by an ensnare there. We are setting up an expansion by Moon as the units are going to try and engage in the center portion of the map here. Demon Hunter off to the side, and here we are. There's a potential engagement. There's some Fairy Fire, but no units getting cycloned. And with no units being cycloned, it is not a forced engagement just quite yet. 48 supply compared to 48. We are looking at some watchtowers being placed down as well to try and add some additional defense. We can see that the reinforced defenses just got completed. Now, what's going to be coming back across here? Demon Hunter gonna be ready to engage. Beastmaster off in the front line as well. Orc player going into low upkeep, sitting at 53 supply, as he should be able to set up his expansion here in just a moment. Meanwhile, moving back off to the north, Beastmaster, Demon Hunter going to be heading off to the north here. Here we are going into an engagement. More Druids of the Talon. More Druids of the Talon are joining in on this fight. As you can see, a bit of damage just racking up over time on that Headhunter, coupled with Fairy Fire, as the Raiders are going to try and come in and get an ensnare. Here we are. There's an ensnare, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability on the Blade Master. Demon Hunter absorbing quite a bit of damage. How is he going to be able to survive? He is trying to survive right here, and the Demon Hunter down to 13 hit points. He gets taken down. And well, the Beastmaster, I believe, had the Staff of Preservation, but was unable to transfer the items over. Demon Hunter falls for the second time. Druids of the Talon continuing to fight their way through, able to finish off another Headhunter here. Clockwork Goblins are now making their way over, getting in a little bit of damage, but Moon being forced to retreat. As we see off to the north here, a Quill Beast just poking around against all of these Orc burrows. Voodoo Lounge still sitting, showing 53 supply compared to 48. Not entangling this gold mine yet. Tree of Life about to be completed. Demon Hunter resurrected at the tavern, but well, with so much support. Oh, what's this? Blade Master going to have a little bit of problems, taking a little bit of additional damage as the Demon Hunter now buys a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, gets sent back home, going to heal up from those Moonwells, and now make his way out towards the battlefield once again. Entangled Goldmine nearing completion here. One Wisp hiding off in the back does keep track of everything there, as we're looking at it into a potential Creepjack here. That Fairy Fire, especially on a map like Echo Isle, where these last creep camps only have one way in, one way out. It is very nerve-wracking, revealing your location to your opponent. That Fairy Fire seems to last forever, and it opens you up to a lot more potential Creepjacks, as your opponent knows when exactly you are engaging against those creep camps. Beastmaster trying to make its way back off to the front here. Another mana burn goes down. Demon Hunter looking to retreat back here. 50 over 60 supply compared to 64 over 72. Orc has the larger army sitting in low upkeep, and here we are about to go into an engagement. No, we are not. Moon throws down a couple of summons, but that's still not going to be enough here. Blade Master going to try and engage. There's a mana burn. Blade Master able to wind walk away in time. Goblin Tinker now getting ensnared as the Blade Master being forced to back up here. Demon Hunter continuing this fight and battle, as well as the Druids of the Talon trying to retreat back. The Raiders with their siege damage able to rack up quite a bit of damage here, as units are falling on both sides. 60 supply compared to 48. Druids of the Talon are continuing to try and fight, as those Raiders with negative armor are trying to ensnare down and finish off some of these Druids of the Talon. Demon Hunter needs to stay alive. Goblin Tinker needs to stay alive. That's where the major damage is coming from those heroes, but a 198 critical strike cuts down the Goblin Tinker. More fighting underway. 43 supply compared to 50. Good exchanges by both sides. Moon still trying to do a little bit more damage here. 43 supply compared to 50, as we're still looking at these units engaging again. Blade Master gets up and getting picked up once again, as the Beastmaster is able to now summon up a Thunderhawk, and the Thunderhawk itself is able to rack up quite a bit of damage towards these other units, as well as we're now looking at Spirit Walkers falling. Moon almost neutralizing the supply advantage, and now has taken the supply advantage away from the Orc player, as more Druids of the Talon are coming to engage. Blade Master constantly getting picked up, and if you shut down the Blade Master, a significant portion of the DPS on that Blade Master, or the DPS on the army, is just gone. All right, there's a Dust of Appearance, and there's a mana burn. reveals, excuse me, as the units are now trying to retreat back away. Another round of attacks onto that Spirit Walker could be enough. A Mana Burn could take it down. Staff of Preservation for the save as the Demon Hunter teleports back home with full hit points. A great engagement there. Goblin Tinker, also resurrected, was only at level 1, very close to level 2, didn't give that much experience, as we're looking at Moon sitting on a bank of about 1,000 gold. With this additional gold mine, he should be able to burst into low upkeep when the time comes. Goblin Tinker opting to spend their gold, or the heroes are opting to spend their gold on items here, as the Demon Hunter also has a potion of healing. Demon Hunter has no real survivability items, though, as the units are getting ready to engage once more. That level 2 Beastmaster, that Thunderhawk, able to snipe down a couple of those units, and perhaps the Orc player is just wondering what exactly happened on his side in order for him to lose that 10 or 15 supply advantage at the start of the battle. Coming back through here, Shadow Hunter, Raiders, Spirit Walkers getting ready once more, perhaps going to hire up some additional units. Goblin Tinker wanting a bit of extra experience and sees that the Ogre Magi is still available off to the north. Going to go ahead and go after all these units. We do see some Fairy Dragons actually out on the battlefield as well. So those Fairy Dragons with that Mana Flare could potentially shut down some of those Spirit Walkers if mass disenchant is tried to be used and those units are clumped together. Orc army now, well, no fairy fire amongst them, able to move out across the map. Moon must suspect something is coming and is now making its way over. Does have one Druid of the Talon keeping close tabs on this army here. Now needs to back away. Oh, able to cast fairy fire while in that crow form. That is something I was not aware of. So still learning something new after so many years. And I guess you can blame me, but the crow form of those Druids of the Talon are not used very often. So we're now looking at a potential engagement here. Spirit Link getting cast and linking many of those units together. All right, Beastmaster getting ready to engage. Druid of the Talons are far in the back here, trying to pick up transfer potions of lesser invulnerability. Druids of the Talon used here. And what's important to note is that there is no Tauren Chieftain. Normally, the Tauren Chieftain is able to use Shockwave and get to that back line, racking up and making some damage stick onto some of these units. We're not seeing that at all, as the Druid of the Talon here is just wandering around the map, trying to keep tabs on where this army actually is. Spirit Link onto mirror images as well. They're absorbing a little bit of that damage now, trying to back away, but what's funny is that Spirit Link is actually transferring damage back to the main army, even though they are just illusions. Gonna go ahead and try and engage here. We can see Tree of Life, no additional base defense or home field advantage, as the Blade Master illusion now making their way in. Serpent Wards are now down, and here we are going into an engagement. All right, Druids of the Talon gonna try and fight. Healing Wave bouncing around. Well, there goes that Cyclone picking up that Blade Master. Scroll of Protection being used, as well as the Fairy Dragon with that Mana Flare trying to flare back some of those units. Meanwhile, Thunderhawk able to get in some damage onto some of those other units, as well as the units are trying to retreat back into a narrow corridor where ranged units have a bit of an advantage over the melee. Demon Hunter continuing to engage here. Goblin Tinker, Blade Master now was on the ground for a quick moment, but has not been able to do all that much. Demon Hunter continuing the fight. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability is available. Blade Master is still up and about. There's a Mana Burn onto a Spirit Walker, as the Demon Hunter uses that Potion of Healing as well to follow up. Raider is going to go ahead and clean up some of these units, as the Orc player does have a slight supply advantage still. All right, Raiders are just surrounding all of these Druids of the Talon now, and as they're exposed, they are going to get taken down one at a time. Meanwhile, the Fairy Dragon's Mana Flare not doing all that much, as there isn't that much to constantly dispel. Scroll of Healing used to try and keep these units alive. 59 supply compared to 71, but it looks like the Orc is going to have the advantage, even though the Blade Master is currently out of commission. Staff of Preservation saves the Demon Hunter, but no such luck for the Goblin Tinker, who gets taken down at level 2. Meanwhile, Beastmaster continuing this fight as well. 36 supply compared to 68, and I believe that is going to be the beginning of the end here. The tipping point may be reached. Scroll of Town Portal now being used. The Demon Hunter trying to fight its way back here, finishing off all these units, but a 62 to 36 supply advantage may be too much to overcome, as Moon is going to lose his expansion. All right, in comes the repairs as well, but that's not going to amount to very much. Raiders with that siege damage, able to take down that Tree of Life quickly. Mark of the Talon upgrade allows. All right, that makes sense. It's just not an upgrade that was used or showcased very often in games past. All right, Beastmaster trying to, well, cut the losses or try to inflict some damage to this Orc army, but a 72 supply army compared to 43. As long as the Orc player does not throw it away, he should be in a great position. All right, hiring up some more units here, getting in an Ogre Mauler. Moon does have 1,000 gold in the bank, but unfortunately for him, so does his opponent. Main Gold Mines has about a minute of mining left, and once that gold is gone, Moon is going to have to, well, move his Tree of Life or Tree of Eternity all the way down south in order to be able to mine up any more gold. During that time, during that transition time, gold will still be mined out for the Orc player, and he'll be able to continue to build and grow, perhaps trying to get some healing salves across all of these lower hit point units. And then once he's able to heal them all up, do that one necessary final push. Nope, opting to use mana to use that healing wave, bouncing around. Clarity Potion right there. Also bringing in a couple of scrolls of healing into this next fight. All right, this next fight should be should be rather easy for the Orc army. It has the supply advantage, 59 supply compared to 41, almost a 20%, actually more than a 20% advantage in terms of army size as the units are going to get ready to engage. Also, there is armor upgrades on the Orc army. The Raiders having 0-1 upgrades going up against no upgrades at all coming in from Moon's army. There are 3 heroes, and well, the initial burst of damage could be the main difference there as the Raider now trying to retreat back. The unit's going to try and engage here. Tree of Eternity going to be joining in on the fight or trying to make its way down to the south here as the Druids of the Talon are fighting off in the front line. All right, those mirror images are absorbing quite a bit of damage as the Raiders are looking to back away as well. A couple of the Wisps could easily get taken down. Not quite sure what is attempting to go down here. Could have tried to pick off some of those units, but instead allowing Moon to push forward and into position here. Coming back down to the south, I guess if you can hold your position at the place you know your opponent ultimately needs to walk to, then that is as good of position as any. Peons are also going to be perhaps joining in on the fight and using that Spirit Link to spread out some more of that damage as well. Plenty of Serpent Wards in position as well. They are all here ready to poke away at any of these inbound units. All right, in comes the Thunderhawks, but the Thunderhawks are easily going to get taken down by so much focus fire and with that medium armor. Tree of Eternity trying to join in on the fight. Blade Master getting picked up off the ground. 56 supply compared to 72 as Swirl of Protection adding in additional protection for the Orc army. Mana Flare causing a couple of problems. Mirror Image is able to absorb quite a bit of damage as Cyclone still picking up many of those units and trying to neutralize them out. Tree of Eternity joining in on the battle as we see now a level 6 Blade Master who could have access to Blade Storm and finish everything off right there. Blade Storm gonna be the final nail in the coffin as Moon loses this game to War3Orcer0. Is that 120? Ling War3Orcs 120. Yeah, able to walk away with the victory here. Thank you for the follow. That was a rather strange game to try and cast and predict what was going to happen. It felt like Moon was doing a number of great exchanges, only to see in that follow-up position, the Orc player transitioning into Mirror Image and using Mirror Image effectively with Spirit Link to counteract all of those cyclones. Very, very great play. New strategy to try and counter an old one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.